Oh gosh, so windy. I'll see if the storm does anything. It says that we're live, but I don't know if we are. I feel like the storm's going to get us this evening. Let's see. Oh, I can see me. Yay! Hello. Crikey, blimey, everybody. Hello, Sean. It's so noisy, it's so windy, I'm scared. I'm scared. Very apocalyptic out there, but warm. Warmer than we've had. Sound and vision check, very nice. Hello, Philip. Hello, Caprice. How are we all doing? I'm reading Prospero Burns by Dan Abnett. It is weirdly warm. Aloha. Aloha. I'm just reading a little bit about... Hello, Neil Adams. So this is a Dan Abnett. Many of you know Dan is adorable. He's one of my favourites. Would love it if Dan could adopt me. I made it to Wolf Time. I'm 44 pages in. And this book is... 444 pages long. So I'm exactly 1/10 of the way through this book. And guess what? It starts on a battlefield. Not even a fair battlefield. Some big bully tribes villages are chasing after... Yeah. Basically, there's a little tribe of people and they have got like someone from the Imperium in their camp. So they're like a primitive kind of village. And they've got somebody who is basically kind of studies humans and like... He's probably like an Imperium anthropologist. And he studied with a scholar and conservator, later celebrated iterator called Kirill Sinderman, who we've met before. Hello, Robbie. Hello. So he's with this little camp that has been attacked by a bigger camp. And what can I say? There's been people who have been hewn by axes. People have had limbs broken and cut. There's a lot of death already. And they call the person from Imperium Uplander. So they probably like know they come from space and stuff. And the Uplander was just having a memory about the Thousand Suns in a cave, which I think, I don't know, you can all laugh at me. I think that he's describing bumping into some Thousand Suns space marines in an Egyptian tomb. I don't know though. Anyway, that's why we're here a bit early. Because crikey, this is very violent. It's actually got very gaunt vibes. The beginning is like kind of melee hand-to-hand combat. And then he describes the arrows like hitting in the snow. A bit like, you know, snipers. This is book 15 in the Horus Heresy. Horus Heresy. In the beginning of it, there is a quote from Magnus and a prophecy from the Thousand Suns. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to like it. It seems very violent. 10 out of 10. Also, see this hair do a lot in gamers. So how is everybody else? Philip just finished Mortis book 5 or 6 of Siege of Terror. You're a long way ahead. Hello, Dark Souls. Skip every other page, says Subcommandant. Hello, Robbie. Lovely to see you. Space Viking, says Caprice. Hello, Alex. Alex is killing it with the garden outdoors content. Despite going into the coldest season of the year, Alex remains an excellent procurer of outdoors content. Please check out Alex on his socials. Hello, Dartharus. It's Dan, says Philip. Of course you'll like it. Robbie says it's a good book. And Robbie also says, love Space Wars. Subcommandant says, justice for the 11 Legionnaires. Who are the 11th? I don't know. I'm just looking for my Primark cheat sheet that Jim made me. I don't flipping know. I know the 15th are Thousand Suns. Yes, Alex had a good week. We died last time we all hung out together. I just think as a group we're really bad at fighting fantasy, so that's a thing. 2nd and 11th legions are unknown, says Neil. There we go. Hi, Tony. 11 is one of the missing ones. Why do they need justice? It was a very abrupt death, says Robbie. Hey ho. Aren't they all? What? You don't get any, like, calm, chilled out deaths in this universe. Anyway, we've got a few minutes. So I'll just give you a bit of a flavour of where I'm at the moment. Okay. Then he said, the Uplander hissed, then he said, I can see you. I can see right into your soul. That's what he said. I can reflect your harm back at you, and I know what you know. Oh, God, he was so arrogant. Typical Mirza. Typical. The statues are priceless, Horza, he said. But how valuable is something, do you suppose, that someone would protect with priceless statues? I don't know what you're telling me, said Fifth. Is it a story? Is it something that happened in the past? Fifth was afraid. He was afraid he was hearing sky magic, and he didn't want any part of it. I know how you feel, Fifth. The Uplander suddenly started and opened his eyes. He stared up at Fifth in sheer terror for a second. I was dreaming, he cried. I was dreaming, and they were standing looking down at me. He blinked, and the reality of his situation flooded back and washed the nonsense of his fever dream away, and he sank and groaned. It was so real, he whispered, mainly to himself. 50 fucking years ago, if it was a day, and it felt like I was right back there. Do you ever have dreams like that? Dreams that unwrap fresh memories of things you'd forgotten you'd ever done? I was really there, Fifth grunted. And not here, the Uplander added dismally. That's a very Dan thing to do. I've come to ask you one last time, do you want the mercy of my axe? Asked Fifth. Cheerful. What? No, I don't want to die. Well, first thing, we all die. Second thing, you're not going to get much say in the matter. Great dialogue, Dan. Help me up, said the Uplander. Fifth got him to his feet and propped him against the bow rail. The first pricking gobs of sleet were hitting their faces. Up ahead, the sky had risen in a great dark summit of cloud, a bruised stain like the colour of a throttled man's face, and it was rolling in on the ice field. Ooh, shivers, me hearties. Oh, where should we pop this so it can't cause trouble for the duration? You can go there next to Unicorn. Okay. Oh, I can put my amulet for protection on. Some bloody great writing. It's just so grim dark. Really vivid descriptions. So this is a soul stone worn by Craftworld warrior captured on Drazax 9. Confirmed it was created during the Age of Strife. So Historitus Gemaldus got this for me, so we'll put that on for safety. Good evening, welcome. It's now 8 p.m, which brings us to the official segment of our evening. We're all here tonight to play some fighting fantasy together. And yeah, I was just reading an excerpt from the latest Horus Heresy book that I'm on. This side, Prospero Burns. And yeah, really fantastic, tingling stuff. I am a tenth of the way through. Will said, we didn't die, we ran out of gas and walked home. I'm here for that. I'm on that trip with you, Will. Matt says, some people think Lehman Russ did him in, but it's not super well evidenced. I don't know who we're talking about, and I hope it's not a spoiler. Robbie, I watched a lore video about the 11th today, about what the Primarch was called. Ooh. Neil and Subcommandant are both commenting on my new hair. Mira has the Adeptus Sororitas approved haircut. I am enjoying this bob. The only thing is, anyone who's ever had a bob, which should probably not be many of you, it's just impossible to get the back looking any good. It's a nightmare. So, I mean, as long as you back away from people and you never turn your back on them, you're fine. And even now it's like a bit floofy. So, but I can also do this. And I think it looks cute when I tie it up. I'm just loving having a fringe. Thanks for talking about my hair with me, everybody. Good evening, Christian. Neil says, did you see the new Games Workshop model reveal video? New Death Corps of Krieg and Craft World Elder models. The Warp Spider Phoenix Lord in particular looks phenomenal. Maybe, Neil, on Wednesday night, we'll do a Let's React and I'll watch that trailer. I'll write it down. What's it called? New GW model reveal. I know Jim always wants me to do reaction videos. It's fine. You don't ever look at the back. I know. Just like this the whole time. I'm wearing one of my merches. Don't blame me. The Warp made me do it t-shirt. Available from here somewhere and my Redbubble shop. But let's get into it. So first things first, the candle for this evening is called Dark Crystal by Lotus Candles, which is my friend Shakira, who makes these candles, and it smells of coconut milk, jasmine and tonka bean, and it's called Dark Crystal. I also have Alumette's Lucifers, which I haven't been able to find. Look at that. Rainbow coloured matches, which we believe are more dangerous than usual. I'm going to randomly pick a colour. Blue, ultramarine blue, hooray! If anyone sees where you can buy these, I really want to find very long rainbow coloured matches that are safer than these. Because, as you all know, one of my biggest things is anxiety, especially about fire. So, without further ado, we bring back Mr. Pugh. It's been so cold that his eye fell off, so I will replace Mr. Pugh's eye very soon. Jen is in the chat. Hello, Jen. Lovely to see you. I'm just going to put Mr. Pugh very close by because these matches are a bit old school and a bit scary. Caprice is so excited by Craft World. He might have bought a Scartharch kit. Ooh, that sounds scary. Haribo says Guten Tag, but spell better. Guten Tag. Können Sie mir bitte helfen? Meine Deutsche ist nicht sehr gut. Not an official tie-in, Caprice, no. Jen says, Lick Hiss is so cool. I want one, and I'm not even an Eldar fan. We all should be elf fans. Tony, Mr. Pugh on standby. Amen. Christian, I love Prospero Burns. What a book. Dark Crystal, now that was a great film. The best work Henson did. The baddies were so creepy. I agree. Matt. Okay, no spoilers. That's good to know. Subcommandant, no Skeksis were harmed in the making of these candles. Hooray! Did anybody see the reboot? I only watched the first episode and I was like, I'm not watching this. Loads of the little ones died. Get Mr. Pugh a monocle. Maybe we will. It's Christmas. Happy Christmas, Mr. Pugh. It's awesome the Eldar players are finally getting a range refresh. Yes. Be nice to elf fans. I'm looking at you, Dom Elf Kicker, even though you're not here yet. Dartharus is excited for the Arvus. I have no idea what an Arvus is. I want some way of using it for my Necromunda tax collectors. That's not a real thing. Actually, I did a video on Necromunda with my friend Hamilton, and it's one of my favourite theme songs. It goes, "Let's play Necromunda right now." Anyway, yeah. My little sister bought me a travel fire extinguisher the size of a deodorant spray. Okay, I need to look those up. I need to see those. Let's have a look. Travel size fire extinguisher. No. Does it really exist? Let's share my screen. Well, these are pocket size, apparently. I want to see one in action. They're just fire extinguishers. All I ever search is fire extinguishers, compact. Let's maybe look in shopping or all. I want there to be like a catalogue with one in somebody's handbag. Let's see. No, that's still a big one, isn't it? Because how big is Mr. Pugh? I'm so sorry anybody tuning into this channel for gaming. How many is this? This is 1 kilogram. That's 2 kilogram. That is not going to be pocket one. You just get a fire blanket, keeps you warm and puts out fires. I have got a fire blanket in the flat, obviously. Let's see if there's a handbag. Mm, 600 grams? I don't know. What's this one? Firepower. Let's see what. Well, that looks tiny. Look. Firepower. Do you know what? So there's a definitely the market's missing out here. There's definitely, why am I moved to make an ad for a tiny fire extinguisher with a background and me with it in a handbag? Do I need help? The answer is yes. Oh, yay! Thank you so much. Neil has gifted 5 Miramanga memberships, which is very cool because our memberships are going down. I can't imagine why. Fire extinguisher lady says, without further ado, where did I put that match? Let's try it and light this fire. Sorry, we got completely sidetracked there into this. This is a small flyer. Oh my God, very cool. Sounds like a jet ski in the air. Mr. Pugh can have a mini me. I would love that. Hello, Nigel. Good evening. Lovely to see you, Nigel. I haven't seen a Nigel on the chat for ages. Lovely to have a Nigel in the chat. Eldars have pointy heads. Or do they keep sandwiches in their helmets? Obviously, they keep sandwiches in their helmets. Hello, Heartless Ninny. Jen, I kind of love that Krieg have a commander who keeps replacing his mount. And Age of Sigmar got a mount which keeps replacing its rider. I like that too. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Alan Redmond, Will Logston, Benstead, Gavin Crosby and Super Flatworm. Welcome to our channel. You are now a Miramanga member. We're so happy to have you. And we love the memberships because it means that you want to keep coming back, or you just have to, you're compelled to because you have a membership. Thank you so much, Neil, for your generosity. Heartless Ninny, people are talking about those new models Games Workshop revealed. I thought it was non-stop home runs. There are 2 woos for Neil. The Arvus is like a 40k equivalent of a transit van, except it can fly. Love it. Okay, let's try this scarily dangerous match. I strike it away from myself. Look at that. Look at the state of it. Oh, phew. Woo! Did you see that? Oh my God. Okay. So that is very safely out. I'll put it somewhere in front of me so I can make sure that it doesn't relight. And here we go. The dark crystal candle is go. Now, normally we would do a celebrity birthday. Today, the birthday that we're going to celebrate is my dear old dad, who sadly passed away a good long while ago now. But he was born, he would be 83 today were he with us. And without my dad, not only would I not be here, but my Will Wheaton plate certainly wouldn't be here, because my dad introduced me to my complete love of all things sci-fi. So we're honouring him today. And a fact, we normally do a science fact. Will may have a science fact to pull out of the bag, or we do another fact. And the fact of the day is about my dad. So my dad's favourite Doctor Who companion was Tegan, the air hostess who he ran into at Heathrow. Her car broke down and she knocked on the TARDIS's door. And obviously it wasn't like an AA TARDIS, it was the Doctor, and she became his companion. And my little brother named his first baby Tegan. So my niece is called Tegan, and my dad got to meet Tegan in the first few weeks after she was born, and he died quite quickly afterwards. So very, very sad. Love my dad. He was the nicest man in the world. The reason I'm nice is because my dad taught me to be kind and lovely. And one memory about him that's really lovely is that he used to go to church, which he loved, and he did all the things. Like, he would help with collecting the money, he would help with counting the money, he would do readings, and quite often after services, people would seek my dad out and he'd just chat to them and make sure they were okay. So that is a lovely, thank you for sharing thoughts about my lovely dad with everybody. Okay, so back into gaming. Happy Haribo. Does anybody else keep getting 30-second adverts during live chat? I'm sorry about that, Haribo. Like, there are ads on the lives, but I've put it at the lowest that I can. I'm trying to figure out like doing ad-free content for people who have memberships. But I think if you have a membership in the live, you still have to have ads. I'm sorry. It helps me make a bit of money. I feel guilty about that. Sorry. That was the good scream, says Caprice. Are you referring to me being scared of fire? Good. Neil, I don't play guard or elder, but I'm sorely tempted. Go for it. Jen says, as opposed to one of those marine flyers, someone basically described as a flying brick. Sean Julie, dark crystal candle, smells like David Bowie. Hang on a sec. Hello, Grace.
Hi, are you streaming?
I'm just streaming.
Oh my god, enjoy those.
I will, but feel free to roam as required.
Oh, thank you.
We're all just playing, games and shenanigans. Historita Jamaldus says, I have never had an ad in a live. Very bizarre. Maybe Happy Haribo has annoyed the YouTube gods. What does the dark crystal candle smell like? It's really lovely. It's coconut milk, jasmine, and tonka bean. I find the smell of cocoa milk very, very comforting, and tonka bean is lovely. It's a little bit like vanilla-y. And then, of course, jasmine. Very sultry, known as a very, romantic fragrance. Yay, thank you for the hugs and love. Haribo absolutely churches run on people like him. Aztec has 2 Mr. Pugh lookalikes. We have 2 in our flat, and we have 2 fire blankets. Sorry to brag. YouTube ads are a plague, says Subcommandant. Darthrus says, I'm sure there's some predictive algorithm that puts them in the worst places. Oh, Tony, thanks to Mira's dad for introducing Mira to sci-fi. Oh, Jim, humble brag, I've got YouTube Premium, lol. Jim, look what I'm wearing. Do you remember who made this? This amulet. It would help if I held that up the right way, wouldn't it? Soulstone worn by Craftworld Warrior. So yeah, we're wearing this eve to ward off the storm, which is flipping terrifying. Dartharus says hi, Grace. She waved. Philip says, Jim is flexing his wealth. Jim corrects Philip, free with my phone contract. There ain't no Richies on this stream. This is not where the Richies congregate. Happy Haribo, the YouTube gods hate me. You need an amulet, Happy Haribo. I believe Russell Brand is selling some controversial amulets. Don't buy one of his. Ninny doesn't play Elder either, but wants a guard army. Oh, Jen's got a dreadful fact. Jen discovered today there's an island off Brazil with 2,000 to 4,000 poisonous snakes on it. The Brazilian Navy only allows a very limited number of people there. Well, none of us are going there. Jim said, I saw when you put it on. I'll listen to the stream while playing Stalker 2. Oh no, that's a horrible game. Come on. Right, let's get killed in a book. Let's open up the game. Because we've been mucking about. We haven't been doing our game correctly. We've just been looking at fire extinguishers. And to be honest, how many fire extinguishers does a girl need?
Hey.
Okay, Fighting Fantasy Classics. Let's get you loaded. Hope everybody's okay in this storm. It is sounding properly rough out there. Oh, Snake Island, says Heartless. Who put those MFing snakes on that MFing island, says Neil. Very good. Ursine, 10 minutes of stuck on a roof, scared of a bloodsucker. Just spotted the stash was up here all along. Relieved, I sprint to safety. Ursine, what the F are you talking about? Sounds terrifying. Shades on, says Tony. You better believe it, we're on the Freeway Fighter now. Go to the Isle of Man instead, has a large population of feral wallabies. Okay, that's where our first convention will be, clearly. Okay. I think we died last time, didn't we? We did die. My question is now to Neil. Would you like to start again? I don't know why I'm asking Neil. Neil, do you have any familiarity with this novel? With this literature? Jen, time for mildly inconvenienced Maximilian. Very good. Same person who sticks them in glove boxes. Yeah, the rattlesnake in the glove box. Ran out of petrol. Should we start from the beginning again? That's the problem in this adventure. Petrol. I did bookmark loads, but I don't know where we went wrong. Let's carry on and see how we do. I can look up a walkthrough if needed. Okay. All right then, let's start again and see what happens. I'm just trying this new little thing for my phone today. Sean says, we've got an island here called Snake Island. You can guess what populates it. Start home again, says Tony. We walked back. Will says, go back to the fork and follow the dirt road. We went wrong stopping at the garage. No, the garage was good, Robbie. We got loads of petrol, remember? Did we? We got something. I'm scared to lose all our bookmarks. Let's go back in time. I hate how I have a responsibility for if I mess us up again. Okay. What do we feel about Joe's garage? Was this the garage where they tried to attack us, Robbie? Maybe you're right, sorry. If we had an Interceptor petrol-electric hybrid, we could have charged the battery up. I know, so annoying. Okay. Yes, Jen, I've heard of the Cat Island also. So let's go. So shall we try this again and we'll go from here, and this time we won't talk to the girl? Or did we get something from talking to the girl? What do you want to do? Let me know in the chat. Drive or chat? And I will just drink from my Emperor, talking of ads, my Emperor Inspects water bottle. Oh, I sold an Emperor Inspects t-shirt today. I don't know if any of you follow Steve Conlin, the voice of James Workshop, on Twitter or Blue Sky, but he tweeted one of my mugs. I sent him as a gift for an interview. The Attacky Garage. We got robbed. Drive, drive, drive! So, drive up the highway. What's Robbie got? I'm losing the chat here. Robbie's got a petrol electro interceptor. Everyone's saying drive. Let's just drive off. Okie dokie. Oh, this dude. Despite the hazard of having to avoid abandoned cars, the highway is wide enough for you to gather plenty of speed. It's exciting to drive so freely without fear of being hauled in by the police for violating some traffic regulation or other. So there are some good things about an apocalypse. You smile as your speed reaches 190 kilometers per hour, but your joy is short-lived. You suddenly see a red Chevrolet, heavily reinforced with steel plating, coming straight towards you. Somebody is sitting in a small turret on the roof, a machine gunner. You think to yourself, maybe having to deal with the police in the old days wasn't so bad compared to what is coming at you now. Lol. You breathe in deeply and get ready to press the machine gun fire button. Time for some car combat. Okay, folks, let's get our red dice on. Of course, we're going to full cheat. I hate this rolling for damage. Let's put in a better roll. That's more like it. 6 damage. Yay! As if the result was not a foregone conclusion. We managed to destroy the Chevy in this vehicle combat. Good job, us. Lure him to the levee, says Dartharus. Jen, all these dice rolls feel more like 40k. Tell me about it. Oh, Jim is wearing his My Walk Made Me Do It tee today. It does excuse us. There are 23 people in the chat. Welcome, everybody. Please, please, please do a like and subscribe. This morning, I lost 3 subscribers and I didn't even do anything. So let's make sure we get some more in today. It's dry there. Maybe American Pie available in the levee. Very good, Arthurus. Okay, so we've destroyed the Chevy. You stop your interceptor to examine the burning wreck. Who were these people and why did they attack you without warning? You shake your head and hit the accelerator, eager to reach your destination. You're passing a security truck and thinking about all the money inside it, which is now useless, when suddenly a voice comes through on your radio above the crackling static. It's one of the New Hope's leaders. She tells you how a gang of bikers have just attacked New Hope, killing 8 people in the process. Oh, trauma. After a short battle, they were eventually beaten off. Don't say anything, chat. She warns you to be on the lookout for them as they've kidnapped Sinclair, the council leader, and maker of the petro-electric interceptors. You acknowledge the message and say goodbye. After an hour or so of driving without any further incident, you notice that your petrol gauge is dropping. The interceptor is very heavy on petrol. You stop to pour the contents of the fuel canister into your tank, realising that you will have to find some more petrol soon. A few kilometres further, and you know that your luck has really run out. There must have been a car crash at the time of the disaster, which caused a huge tailback of now abandoned cars. It's impossible to continue along the highway. You reverse back to the last exit and drive off the highway. You must decide which way to head along the road which crosses over it. So go ahead, chat. Tell us whether we're going east or west, because you guys know best. Jen says there was an orc unit that you had to roll for their behaviour every turn. Neil said, anyone watch Suggs' Trench Crusade video? I haven't yet. I love that we're having the American Pie lyrics going on. Aztec. Trench Pilgrims would be my faction. I'm editing the Trench Crusade book, and let me tell you, it is gory AF. Potentially gorier than anything I've ever read in any 40k, 30k Heresy Black Library so far. It is dark times, but excellently written. All of the warbands look fantastic in Trench Crusade. Happy says, not Sinclair, send for the CS Interceptor. I think everyone loves Louise. I agree. So let's count up the wests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wests. No easts at all. We're going west. Good old Clive Sinclair, our glorious leader. I hope that he was just a nice bloke. You know, he was a great inventor. I think it's safe to say I'll take Clive Sinclair over Elon Musk. Heartless says, oh, Orc Mad Boys, I love them. There are so many cool minis and the lore sounds excellent. Capri says, really, Mira? Heck yeah. Think I'm going to go Iron Sultanate. Ooh, exciting. Jen says, I'm watching this with the Son of Russ next to me. Jen, are you with a wolf? Darthris is asking if the orc rolls were for animosity. They remember animosity and stupidity rules taking forever. Lucky you don't hang out with me. Stupidity rules do take forever. The West, we always sing, the West is the best. Get here and we'll do the rest. If Jim Morrison's telling you to go west, you go west. I would take a flesh wasting disease over Elon Musk, says Will. I'm here for that, Will. Sean, could you get Louise to interview you for Trench Crusade, and you interview her for 40k? Okay, this is my official feeling on talking to Louise Sugston. Okay, firstly, I'm a huge fangirl. Her videos give me so much joy. I enjoy listening to her voice, even when she's talking about stuff I don't know. I love looking at her paints. I love her paints collection. I'm going to buy myself a first set of paints, and they may well be some of hers because they're so bright and beautiful. I feel she is already a very busy human and has lots and lots of people chasing her all the time to interview her. And she also does the podcast with Peachy. And like, I feel like I don't want to bug her, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. I feel very awkward about like hassling somebody like that for an interview. But I think what I could do is maybe wait till she's got a release out and then see if she wants to talk about it. But I just imagine the amount that person gets hassled by everyone on the internet to come and talk to them. Does she really need me with my teeny channel? Like, I have like 8.8 thousand followers. Imagine all the people who are asking her who have like 60,000 or 100,000 or 200,000 followers. The second thing I would say is I don't know that I could ever justify me talking about Trench Crusade, because as far as I've seen, it's Thomas and Mike and James that have been putting all the work into it, and then they invite a bunch of really amazing artists, sculptors, and creatives, and they're all bringing so much more to the project than I am. All I'm doing is, doing my best to make sure that the words that have been written are just stunning and there's no issues, and doing all the things a good editor should do. And I still can't believe I'm working on it, because the creativity, like the worlds that some people can just build in their minds, and the artwork, everything is too of such a great standard. I feel I am of the lowest. I'm not saying I'm not a creative, but I'm saying, you know, of all the people to interview, it should not be me. So yes, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Happy Haribo, what is Trench Crusade? Give it a quick Google and prepare to have your mind blown. It's a game. My Son of Russ is the action figure I sent you the picture of. Okay, I'm kind of relieved, Jen. Imagine if you were sat next to a full-grown wolf. Terrifying. Okay, let's go west. The road heads directly west and you are able to travel along it quickly as it's relatively free of obstacles. However, your easy drive is short-lived. The road comes to a river which it used to cross, but the drawbridge which spans the river is partly open, stopping you from driving across it. We judge that if we drive over it at about 180 kilometers an hour, the momentum should carry the interceptor across the gap to the far side, but then again, it might not. If you wish to try to drive across the bridge, we can do that. We've done it before, we've succeeded. If we'd rather not risk it and turn around, please type turn around into the chat. Otherwise, type bridge or turn around. Thanks, Sean. I am trying to think of other people I can interview. Jen, I like wolves, not that much. Time for a sweet jump, says Heartless. One thing I'm very excited about is Napoleon Dynamite talking about the Grimdark. Come on, John Hedder. Dukes of Hazzard, please. Okay, let's jump. You reverse your car to give yourself a long enough run up to the bridge. You tense tightly and the adrenaline starts to flow through your veins. The engine roars as you pump the accelerator, and then you suddenly release the clutch and screech away towards the bridge. You hit the bridge at 120 kilometers per hour, and you watch the dial rise to 130 as the front wheels leave the ground. Roll 2 dice. If the total is the same or less than your skill score, turn to 70. I think we want less than our skill score, don't we? So that should be okay. We definitely passed the skill check. The wheels slam down on the far side of the bridge and we have to struggle with the steering wheel to keep the interceptor going in a straight line. We're across the bridge but travelling at a high speed. Okay, we need a low roll here too. Again, we pass. Yes. We control the interceptor and swerve around the truck. Okay, you drive off the bridge heading west again, but soon come to a T-junction which offers you a choice of roads. If you wish to keep driving west, I'm going to make some notes on what we choose now. If you wish to keep driving west, please type west in the chat, or if you want to go south, please type south in the chat. Let the adrenaline flow through you. Them Duke boys are going to get away again. Given how much they've raised, I'm sure they could have any editor they want and they chose you. Yay! I've been with them, about a year ago. I met them in Nottingham and it was so nice. Got to hang out with Thomas Pirinen and I travelled to California for a conference and Mike was 15 minutes away, so we met. Mike is so amazing and lovely. So cool. West is still best. Robbie says south. Capri says we mostly sped south last time, so west. West. Yeah, actually, I did say to them when this Kickstarter went mad, I said, I guess you don't need me anymore. Like, well, maybe I should step back. And they were like, no, we made a deal. You're doing it. So now I'm like, I'm really scared. Like, what if I mess up the whole project anyway? I'm going to do it. I'm excited. I'm putting time aside, energy aside. And we're going west in the game. Okay. Standing in the middle of the road, waving his arms frantically, is a man wearing denim jeans and a jacket. A motorcycle helmet covers his head. If we wish to stop and talk, please type talk into the chat. Or to drive past him, please type drive into the chat. I don't know. I can't remember what we did with this person. I've got complete amnesia around this adventure. How strange is that? Hello, Gary! Welcome to the chat. Ambush, drive past him, says Neil. Drive, Helmet Man is sus. Okay. Robbie also says drive. Okay, we travel west looking for a major road heading south, but the decision is made for you when you arrive at a solid tailback of cars just beyond a left turning. This impassable blockade of cars and trucks stretches into the distance as far as you can see, all of them long since abandoned. So if we wish to head south, we can. But shall we look in the abandoned vehicles? I know that we got stung, but wasn't there something important that we needed in the trunk? Let me know, you guys. I'm not taking responsibility for that snake again. There are 25 people in the chat. Hello, thank you so much for joining the chat. It's so lovely to have you all here. Will says petrol. Heartlessness. Heartless says, in all seriousness, the trick is to find which are ambushes and what not have petrol. Tony said, look, we need petrol. Sugar. So should we have stopped at that? Bollocks. So should we have stopped at the ambush to get petrol? Aww. Haribo's got a Jack Russell friend. Okay, so let's check the vehicle. We'll do that. We're going to keep on searching. Yes, we found the petrol. Yay! Okay, so maybe the glove box is a different thing. Okay, so the country road runs straight ahead, far to the distance, and you're able to make good headway as it's relatively free from abandoned cars. After an hour's driving at high speed, you arrive at a T-junction. Okay. South or east? I'm guessing the other glove box must be at a different car site, because there wasn't an option for the glove box there. Does this adventure have a feature where they keep track of where you've been? We have this map. So I think the dark black is what we've done so far. And maybe that's what we did last time. I don't know if these are spoilers. I don't remember a minefield. Crikey. Anyway, this is what lies ahead. This is the ghost of Christmas past. You know, petrol only lasts a few months. What? Are you kidding me, Will? So when the apocalypse comes, there's no point stockpiling petrol? What happens to out-of-date petrol? Something T-junction. Sounds like a lovely pooch. I think that map will probably come in handy, says Heartless. I agree. South says Haribo. East says Gary. Heartless says Will is right, petrol goes bad. Well, why am I nearly 50 and only learning that now? What the hell was I doing at school? Robbie says we can run our cars on chip fat. We'll be okay as long as the nation stops buying air fryers. So what happens if you've got like a stash of gasoline, petrol, and it stops working? What do you do with it? Can you reprocess it? Is it wasted? Dartharus says, I assume less combustible doesn't mean not combustible. Do you know what? This is too much for my mind on a Sunday night where I'm anticipating being bitten by a rattlesnake. Come on, let's have some votes, people. We've only had Haribo and Gary contribute. Are we going east or south? Don't put it on just 2 people in the chat. That's not fair, because then if we die, everyone feels bad. Very few people seem to know petrol goes bad, says Heartless. You could probably use it to start fires or whatever. Oh, good. My favourite thing. Or maybe in a portable generator, like camping. East says Will, South says Heartless, Nigel says South, Sean says East. After a while, petrol gets piercings and tattoos. Very good, Tony, lol. You made me drop my pen, Tony. Not a euphemism. Okay. Hi, Kirby. Welcome to the chat. Darthrus, I swear there was a dude who'd upgrade our car around here. Horses and donkeys. Okay. So let's count the south. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 people wanting to head south. And 1, 2, 3 for east. So south we will go. The road cuts through overgrown fields, but there are no obstructions on the road. You check your mileometer to see how far you've come and see that the petrol gauge is reading empty. So we've picked up that fuel. Okay. So we stop the car and empty the canister into the tank. The canister does not hold much petrol, and we realise we're going to have to be on the lookout for more if we hope to reach San Angelo. By the time you set off again, it's early evening and you watch the setting sun through the right-hand window. Soon it will be dark and there is a new decision to make. Will we drive off the road and sleep in the Interceptor? Will we try and find a building to spend the night in? Or do we drive all night? So let me know in the chat. Mad Max is a good name for a donkey, I agree. Sparkplug Pete's, I believe, is in our future. We're here right now. Sleep in vehicle, sleep in car. I'd suggest dropping a bookmark every time we refuel. We can do that. Parts of the petrol oxidize slowly to things that are just less desirable. A few of these can be explosive. Ethanol just turns into vinegar. Ethanol is very important in perfume, I think. Is it? Everyone's saying sleep. I know how you all feel. It's very, very tiring, this apocalypse. Will knows more about this than me. Heartless, Will knows more about science than most of us in this chat. Most people, I would say. You can add petroleum preserver, which extends the shelf life. That's good. Good to know. Safety for us and car. Sleep is good, says Haribo. And Will says sleep too. Heartless wants to sleep in the building. Heartless, you are brave, but you've been outvoted. But I will leave a note here to say, I'm just trying to keep a note of our choices. So then when we need to go back to a bookmark, I don't spend like 15 days clicking. Drive in the night. Okay, so we're picked sleep in the car. You pull off the road and park the Interceptor behind a low wall. When you turn off the engine, you notice how deathly quiet it is and wonder if anybody heard you stop. You eat food quickly but wait until it's completely dark before settling down to sleep. In the morning, you wake early, feeling refreshed and gaining 2 stamina points. You start up the Interceptor and are soon heading south. Turn to 254. The countryside is picturesque in the early morning light, but you are unaware of the dangers ahead. The road has been mined by country outlaws waiting to rob anybody passing through. Okay. Oh God, we got blown up. I'm going back. Let's go back. Let's get higher. We rolled a 5. Miraculously, some miracle, you drive through the minefield without triggering off any of the mines, and we gain 1 luck point. Quite unaware of your lucky escape, you continue your journey south by turning to 303. Phew, we were lucky, weren't we, kids? Okay, I should just turn the page. Lots of post-apocalypse pickled onions, says Tony, lol. Very good. Dartharus thinks that's the sludge. Will says, I think that's right. The sludge is definitely bad news. Heartless used to fix their own cars. Wow, that must have saved you some dosh. Some dosh and some dollar. As the morning wears on, it becomes very hot. And the further south you travel... as the morning wears on, it becomes very hot. And the further south you travel, you notice a change in the vegetation. The overgrown fields turn into scrubland, and it won't be long before you're driving across the desert. A few miles further down the road, you arrive at a major junction. So we can either head east or south. So let's look at the map. We're here now. So we can go east or south. What do people want to do? Likely we're too far away from West Virginia for country roads. Take me home. I vote east, please, says Heartless. Robbie says east. Kirby says east. I think the Easts are going to win. Yep, it's a full house at East. Gary, Caprice and Will have spoken. You travel about 80 kilometres before the road ends at a T-junction. You decide to turn right in the direction of San Angelo. Okay, that's interesting. So we've gone past Sparkplug Pete, and instead we are going to encounter a laughing man. So I'm going to bookmark here. Okay. You approach a railway bridge that you must pass under, but do not see the laughing man on top of it. Oh my god, a stone pillar teeters on the edge of the parapet, held from falling by the man. As he sees you drive towards the bridge, he giggles like a child and releases the pillar. It crashes down onto the road directly in front of the interceptor. This is what I hate about apocalypses. All the giggling, crazy people come out. Okay, we've passed the skill check, thank goodness. Okay, you swerve sharply to the left, narrowly missing the stone pillar and pass under the bridge. If you wish to stop to deal with the attacker, please type stop into the chat. If you want to keep driving, please type south into the chat. This is a bit of a day of reckoning, isn't it? Because we can stop and mete out some justice, or we can continue on our mission. What should we do? Monzo and Arctis products for this advert break. East for me. That Kingsman sequel wasn't great, but Mark Strong's singing was pretty great. Way too many loonies in this wasteland. Stop for revenge. Maybe they'll have something useful. Gary, drive. No good comes from a giggling madman. Heartless, Will, Robbie, Caprice, Tony and Nigel say stop. Do we like quicksand and use this as a catharsis point when we get the grumps? Stop, says Sean. Give them a stern talking to. Dartharus, quick save. Happy says, really toxic, laughing, crazy people. Far too much like real life. Kirby says, use the guns. Neil says, petrol for the petrol god. Gas for the Gath throne. Okay, let's do it. We're gonna keep driving south. No, we're not. We're going to stop. Everyone wants to stop, don't they? But I have bookmarked. Thanks for the gentle reminder. Look at this cool customer coming out of a porter cabin with a star on his shoes. I think we've run into Evel Knievel. With revolver in hand, you jump out of the interceptor and climb warily up the railway embankment. When you reach the top, you look towards the bridge and see your attacker grab a bag from out of a caravan abandoned there. He jumps on a motorbike and roars off east away from you. If you wish to look inside the caravan, type caravan in the chat. Or if you wish to return to the interceptor, type car in the chat. So caravan or car. And I'll write it down so I know what we decide to do. Caravan says Robbie, car says Neil, says Gary. Neil says car, a van, caravan. Dartharus says caravan. Tony says caravan of love. Nigel says caravan. And Will says caravan. The chat is filling with caravans. Haribo has an anxious caravan in there. Let us see what happens. Ooh! You climb the steps into the caravan, and after a rapid search through the cupboards, you discover a can of corned beef and a grenade. You put the grenade in your pocket. Oh, Lord. And then decide to eat the corned beef then and there as you're feeling very hungry. You gain 2 stamina points. Realising that you're not likely to see your attacker again, you return to the interceptor and head south. Well done us! I'm pleased for that result. It's not long before the green vegetation gives way to more barren terrain, with tufts of dry grass dotted on top of the stony brown earth. You're soon at a major intersection on the edge of the desert. You stop at the crossroads and see that the road heading east is blocked with abandoned cars. Okay, it's another directional one. If we wish to drive south into the desert, please type south in the chat. If you wish to turn to head right, if you wish to turn right to head west, please type west into the chat. Ooh, what will we do? That's what caravans are for, says Heartless. Indeed, corned beef sandwiches, holidays by the seaside. I was afraid of a booby-trapped caravan too, Gary. You and I are very risk-averse. I think that's a trait that we share. Okay. We've got 4 votes for west. I'm going to go west. Oh, sorry, Tony. Not the desert, says Haribo. You drive along the edge of the desert for about 80 kilometres until the road ends at a T-junction. You decide to turn left and head south into the desert towards San Anglo. Ah, okay, we've been here before. The landscape turns to a reddish brown. Let's just see how we've got here. Okay, all right, I see how this is working. Interesting. The landscape turns to a reddish brown as you drive further into the desert. The road runs south straight as an arrow and is virtually clear of abandoned cars. As you drive along, something you recognise catches your eye. It's an overturned interceptor which must have veered off the road and rolled over after its driver died at the wheel. If you wish to stop and see if there are any spares worth taking, let me know and write stop in the chat. If you would rather like to keep on driving, please type drive in the chat. I think this is the glove box with the snake in it, but there was also something in the glove box that I think might come in handy. So please let me know what you wish us to do. Stop for spares or keep on driving. Snake in glove box. Snake, a snake. Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people who want to stop for the snake. So let's just go in. Let's go in. We'll deal with the snake again. Okay, so we've got the spare tyre. We're going to look in the crashed car. We've got our med kit. We've lost 1 skill and 1 stamina. It's not that big a deal yet. Look, we're fine. We're fine. We're strong. Okay, and we're going to drive off south again. Okay. In your rear view mirror, you see a motorbike and sidecar steadily closing up on you. The passenger is holding a machine gun mounted on the nose of the sidecar. He reminds you of early pilots with his goggles and a leather flying cap. Both men are wearing black scarves over their mouths to keep the wind-blown sand out of their lungs. When they are no more than 50 metres behind, they signal their intention by firing a burst from the machine gun at the interceptor. You immediately lose 1 armour point, but we still have more than enough armour. You swerve wildly but maintain control. What will we do now? Will we drop a canister of iron spikes? Will we release a spray of oil? Or will we return fire with a machine gun? Well, this is up to you lot. Spikes, oil or gun are your options. Please do pop them into the chat. Hands up, who remembers the badger guy making one of those 118 ads? I don't know. Daka, says Gary. I know enough now. Daka means guns, doesn't it? Robbie says spikes. So it's between spikes or guns at the moment. Let me know. There are just 22 people in the chat. So let's see what the chat would like to do. Oil say oil, says Tony. Did you say that in Sean's accent? Oil say oil. Oil say gun, says Sean. Spikes. We went straight to guns last time. Spike sounds fun. Oil, spike. Christian says oil. Okay. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for spikes. 6 for spikes. 6 spikes is 1. So let's see what happens. We'll drop some spikes. You press the release button on the dashboard and watch the canister bounce along the road behind you. It suddenly bursts open, scattering the pointed iron spikes all over the road. I don't know what we need here, so let's cheat. I don't know what we need here, so we're going to cheat. You rolled a 6. Oh, no. We want to see what happens if it works. Okay, some swift cheating. Sorry, everybody. The motorbike and sidecar run straight over the iron spike, shredding 2 of their tyres. The vehicle swerves off the road and rolls over in the sand. In a matter of seconds, they are out of sight. Okay, now I think what I did there is we have 2 page 13s bookmarked. I think one might be from the time before, so let me just check and go back to that, because I want to check that we've still got that grenade. Okay, so that is the old game. Okay, so I need to make sure we're on the right game. Nope. Shit. Okay, wait. What's going on here? Sorry, everybody. It's all getting a bit technical. Hang on. $70. Oh, Lord. Have I got us on the wrong track? 96. I'm not seeing any of these numbers on my notes. Sugar. Could it have bounced us back onto the other one? Anyone have any idea of how this could be operating? Damn it. 127 says Will. Oh, I think it's one of the bookmarks made after 13. No, 13 was the one we just got to. I've got a bad feeling about this. Okay, that's where we started. Sugar. So let's try the other 30. So this doesn't make sense. It's basically taken us back into the other adventure. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry, I did a swear. Hang on. We're just going to go back in and see what we can do. Did you see the grenade written in the inventory? One, 2, 7 is the check-in for the spikes. Okay. We've got the great shout, Will. Yay! Good job, Will. Thank you so much. Gosh, I had such a... Literally, my heart just went. I think my... Oh, see, I'm so used to like messing things up. I just assume I've always got them wrong. Will, you saved us. Somebody save me. Good job, Will. Fantastic. Okay, let's find out what happens here. The motorbike and sidecar run straight over the iron spikes, shedding 2 of their tyres. The vehicle swerves off the road and rolls over in the sand. In a matter of seconds, they are out of sight. Hooray! Oh, sugar. Okay. I fear, my friends, we all know what's going to happen here. Ah, we failed again. So what the heck do we do differently? It must be at this point here. It's got to be the rough road. Okay, it's got to be the rough road next time. At the moment, it seems like all we have to interact with somebody that we're running away from or something. We have to try a different route. Petrol will be somewhere. Okay. Well, let's accept just for tonight. Yeah, we're kind of screwed this eve. Oh, this feels way too stressful for a little chilled out game. Neil says, I have a walkthrough if you want to start again next time, or we could just give it another try. I think next Sunday, which will be, I'll have been to Dragon Meet in the day. Next Sunday, let's all have a chat and decide what to do together. Thank you. Please keep the walkthrough on standby, Sean. Would really appreciate that. I'm going to come off here pretty sharpish. So Grace can come and watch TV or do whatever she wants to do and have a nice Sunday evening rather than listen to me get us all killed. Heartless. If I remember correctly, each section only has one opportunity for petrol, so if we bookmark every time we fill up, we can sort it out systematically. Yes, Neil says we need to think what to do for a Christmas stream. Maybe we'll do some unboxing. Yeah, we'll do some unboxing and some Let's Reacts. And there might even be a Christmas guest. Maybe. Good night, Robbie. Take good care of yourself. Lovely to see you, everybody. Thank you, Gary. I will have fun at Dragon Meet. Yes, Sean, we're getting plenty of exercise. Heartless will try bookmarking. Sparkplug might be the right route, so maybe find that save. Good shout. Kirby thinks we went the rough route the last time. Maybe. Well, we always have a backup of a walkthrough, so let's see what happens. How many times can we play through a book? Is Sir Ian coming over? No, I don't think it. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. But it is a person who's attached to Christmas messaging. I have a video with them. So, sleep well, everybody. Stay safe in this storm. Don't do any walking near trees. You don't need to. Neil, thank you so much for giving out some Mirror Manga memberships. We really, really appreciate it. Yeah, Mr. Pugh says good night. Good night, Sean. Good night, Nigel. Good night, Christian. Have a good week. Yes, Neil, have a good week. Thanks, Aztec. Night, Kirby. Night, Jen. Coca-Cola Santa. Good night, Caprice. Good night, Dartharus. Good night, Sean. Have a great day in Australia. Good night, Gary. Yeah, gosh, it's like the Waltons in here. Good night, Alex. Good luck with the weather tomorrow. Hope you don't have too many trees to move. Take care, says Heartless, and good night, says Jen. Good night. Love you all lots. Thank you so much for hanging out. Bye. Okay, stop here. Good night, John Boy. Good night, Tony.